The tools, products, and techniques in this video are intended for use by adult modelers. Anyone under the age of 13 should always have adult supervision when using said tools, products, and techniques.
Now, back to G.I. Joe.
Alright everybody, let's keep going with these mods. If you didn't watch part 1, check that out. We did some of the axles, the front axle, the rear axle. And now we're going to carry on with the armaments. As you can see, I've already started here. And these are they're going to be rocket pods, right, on the side of the vehicle. And really straightforward. We're just attaching these clips to the underside using a little milliput, right? If you've watched any of my other builds, you've seen milliput. It's a two-part epoxy. You cut off equal amounts, knead them together, and you end up with this. And that's what we're going to use to attach this thing. I typically, when I'm joining parts together, I will typically score the parts just to give a little bit of purchase to the milliput. Give it something to kind of dig into. Right? I don't know if you can even see what I've done here, but basically just put some scratches, right? I don't know if you can see that. I do it on that, and I do it on the opposite part. Like I said, it just gives the milliput something to kind of bite into. Let's see, nothing fancy. And then we are going to take our milliput, and actually I might not have broken out quite enough, honestly. Put that in. Actually, yeah, let's get a touch more. I don't think that's going to be enough. So you get two parts, and like I said, you just cut off equal amounts. Then we knead them together. And you know what? I'm gonna knead the two together just so we get one big blob. All right. Now, I'm just gonna smash this into the grooves there. Just like that. And we'll have a little bit hanging out because that's going to go down in this groove. But from there, hope you can see what I'm doing here. Literally just mashing it down into place. And make sure they're even, which that looks pretty good. All right, clean out this space right here. And I've got a little bucket of water just off camera here. I dip my fingers in that, and with wet fingers you can kind of mold milliput. Kind of spread that around, smooth it out, and it just wipes up with a paper towel. So I'll get a little bit more down on this back end. And the neat thing about milliput, when it's fully cured and solid, you can go back and sand it and trim it and paint it and all that good stuff. So, you know, if there's anything that we don't like, we can just sand it off. All right. I think that's just about got it. I will leave these to fully cure, probably take about 24 hours. And then we'll be able to sort of touch them up if we need to, clean them up, that sort of thing. So yeah, I'm gonna leave those to dry, and when they're fully cured, we'll come back and see if there's any touch-ups that need to be done. So let's move on to the next bit while we're waiting for these to dry. Be right back. All right, the next bit we will need to tackle is this turret. If you remember, I want to have this in the back of the Scow Cat, or GTP as I've been calling it. And to do that, I need to attach this little clip, which goes into a slot in the back. It would attach in here, right? So we need to attach that to the bottom of this. And the first thing we need to do is get rid of this clip, because I think that's going to be in the way. Get our snips here and just carefully sort of chop that off. There we go. Let's clean that up really, really quickly. Need some coarser grit sandpaper. There we go. And I'm a little bit worried about the divots here. So I think what I want to do is cut out a piece of card and sort of glue that on. Let's see. Pen. Do I have a pencil? I don't have a pencil. Right. Something like that. And we can just, actually, you know what? Just score it. There we go. Easy peasy. And we'll just glue that on, and then we'll trim it up once it's all dry, right? So grab the plastic weld. All right, while we wait for that to cure, let's deal with this. You know, I'm afraid when we cut that little end off, that there's not going to be a whole lot there to hold on to. So I'm thinking I want to maybe seal it and then put some milliput on the inside just to kind of hold it all together. Yeah, just not sure about that one. Let's see, let's take it apart, take a look. All right. Yeah, see, I'm afraid if we cut this off, you know, we're gonna be chopping off that very end, and I'm just afraid there won't be enough to really hold it. So I think what we'll do is we'll seal this thing first, and then yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Just gonna drip some glue down in the seam. And squeeze it together. Hopefully that'll seal it all up. All right. So I'm going to give this a few minutes to dry. And up next we will, actually I'll probably take it out to the garage and cut this off with a Dremel. I don't think I'll be able to nip that away, but I will get this end cut off once it's cured, and we will carry on with attaching it to the base, which once that's cured we'll trim this up too. So yep, give me a few minutes, let all this stuff dry, and then we will carry on. Back in a moment. All right, everybody, got these pieces sort of cleaned up. I did some work off camera, as you can see. Trimmed up the edges of this and just gave it a quick sand. So that's nice and tidy. And then I also cut off this piece, right? Used to be on the bottom of that. This plastic is really, really easy to cut if you have a Dremel. And then it just takes a little sort of cleaning up the edges where it melts the plastic. But yep, you can sand it a little bit and clean it up and it looks great. So let's get these two pieces attached together. So this is the front. The gun will sit in there, right? And I want to sort of attach this, and I'm just kind of eyeballing center here, but I want it to be in the center. Now it does have a, you probably can't tell, but it does have a slight lean one direction, and I sort of want that lean to be backwards. So I think we will just sort of set it in place for right now. And that looks pretty close to center. And where is, oh, there we go. Get the plastic weld again. I'll tell you, I love this stuff. It works really, really well on many different kinds of plastic. You know, whereas like the Tamiya cement, I moved it. The Tamiya cement really only works on styrene. It's not very good for other types of plastic, but All right, let's see if I can do it without moving it. All right, let's get a little bit on the back side. All right, everybody, there we go. Got this one attached. Now I'm going to let this sit and cure for a minute. And after that, I think I want to go around and do some milliput just to give it some extra strength, right? This thing is going to take a lot of abuse, although we may not. Once it cures, I'll see how solid it feels, and we'll go from there. But, yep, I'm going to let this dry. Be right back. All right, everybody, so here's the mods we got done on this episode. Got the supports in for the missile pods, right? They'll snap on like that eventually. And we got the gun attachment, right? That'll pop in there. The one thing that I kind of wanted to do and I didn't do is remember I was talking about doing the front gun, right? So I trimmed this out and I played with it a little bit, cut the gun down to almost nothing, but it just wouldn't fit in there properly. So I'm not going to do that. Luckily, I have a spare canopy that's unbroken, so maybe worst comes to worst, I can find the wiper blade that goes there, and it'll just be original. So I'm not going to do that one. It just didn't turn out right. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the mods we've got so far. Remember the rear axle and the front axle we did on the last episode. Those are all looking sharp and ready to go. And once these are fully cured, I don't think the milliput is quite cured completely. I mean, there's a big old blob down in there. I don't know if you can see, but it's going to take it a little while for that to cure. But once all this is dry and ready to go, I will be ready to paint, which is what we're going to do on episode 3. That'll be the painty episode. As always, thank you for hanging out with me. Hope you enjoyed the mods, and stay tuned for the next one. Bye-bye.
Hey, watch this. You're gonna pull that alarm? Why not? It'll be fun.
That kind of fun can cost a life.
Barbecue.
False alarms are no joke. They keep firefighters away from the real action. And in this business, a few seconds can mean the difference between life and death. Remember, a firefighter's job is to fight fires.
Not answer false alarms. Now I know.
And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe!